program is Morning Pulse. My name is Sharon Chiku, and I am joined in the studio, as always, by the beautiful Ifoma Oji. Good to have you on the show.
Good morning.
Welcome. You look beautiful as always.
And you too.
All right, we're not alone, as you can see. We're also joined by analyst extraordinaire, like I like to call him, in person of Mr. Daniel Sacramento. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You're looking fly. I love this look.
Like you too. You guys are beautiful.
Thank you very much. All right, straight to the stories for today. Fresh 20.6 billion naira that was just approved recently. We're going to also move on to the next story, which is over 100 trillion naira that was stolen in the Buhari's administration. And this said document was prepared and handed over to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by Honorable Mohammed Kasuri. Now, the third story, this has been trending for a while. It's the situation of the Nigerian nurses strike for pay and staffing, and as the talks has even collapsed up until now. So we're looking at the situation from different perspectives, and we're also going to be quickly looking at Kwankwaso and his claim that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has marginalized the North and has not given it enough attention. So let's all talk about all of this, starting from the billion approval for the lawmakers backup vehicles. It's not the main vehicle, the backup vehicles, and then we take a look at other stories. But let's start with you, Mr. Daniel Sacramento.
All right, it's like I told you yesterday. I said every day you wake up, there's always a very pathetic news you'll be hearing about this country. You know, we keep clamoring for the president, talking about the presidency, their corruption practices. But when you come to states, you find out that a lot of states are even living inside corruption, because nobody will tell me that this is not a high level of corruption.
It is.
When people are crying, people are saying there is hunger in the town. People are passing bills, 45 billion just to drive vehicle.
Backup vehicles.
And we're not talking about just vehicle as if they don't have. But they're talking about backup vehicles. Please, this money, these people, are this not taxpayers' money?
I don't know.
Are this not taxpayers' money? You see, this sensitivity and insensitivity that is in this country is something that will make, you know, when you come out and say a lot of people crazy, maybe somebody have keep thinking about this.
Yes, the madmen on the streets might have a reason.
Yes, and you just find out that this person just have to. You say, please, I can't continue listening to this. Let me just run.
Let me just run.
Honestly, because it's terrible. 45 billion just not long ago, 2 years ago.
Yes.
Now we're talking about extra 20.6 billion for another vehicle that will come from heaven, made in heaven or somewhere. So it's just to tell you that the whole system, I said this long ago, I said, we have a corrupt system. Until we look at how we will be able to change that system, change some of the constitution, so these things won't stop. You will keep hearing all these things. Because we have the level of politicians we have now do not have conscience.
They don't, and it's really...
They do not have conscience.
No,
and that's the gospel.
It is, and I just wanted to let's take your own thoughts on it. I mean, the other day we were here when we were talking about the 712 billion naira, and then Sheikh Husani was saying that any small thing now is billy, and I just wanted to take your take on it.
Okay, I think at this point, I'll have to reference the governor of Anambra State and his statement. I can't really get the exact thing he said, but in my own explanation, he said that we should, what's it called, P2B should go for brain evaluation.
He didn't call P2B's name, so let's
yes, somebody, yes, exactly. Concerning the second tenure, the 8 years and all whatnot. What I'm trying to say in this sense is that I think it's time Nigerians go for brain evaluation.
The politicians?
No, Nigerians.
Okay.
Because we've gone through a lot. So at this point, I don't think we still have our sanity intact. So we need to go and reevaluate our brains, because what are you not telling me? Like billions, and there are a lot of projects that has not been carried out. You're telling me that you're budgeting that amount of money on just backup vehicles.
That's the crazy thing. That's not even the main vehicles. See, do you know that another thing is at this time around, because I think it is a lot. Do you know that another thing is that I feel that this backup vehicles may actually be vehicles for their security personnel. So these people are investing our hard-earned money to secure themselves while we have insecurity in the country.
Wait, and they pay the people that they are securing. Sorry, the people that is securing them 2 million naira.
After 35 years.
That's the crazy thing. That is really crazy. You know, when they say Nigeria is not a real country, I think at this point I'm beginning to see why.
Let's look at the Lagos State House of Assembly passing such bill. Who is the speaker? The speaker is somebody that has been there almost 16 years. He was removed, Obasa. Right Honorable Obasa. He was removed, and the woman was brought on board, and the presidency had to intervene for him to come back. So why won't you be seeing this? Because it is still garbage in, garbage.
Do you know that's the question that I wanted to ask next? Is, do you think there should be some sort of policies that should be put in place to checkmate the spendings of political officers, especially with approval of budgets by assemblies, National Assembly, the Lagos State Assembly, and all whatnot? Should there be policies that would? It just seems as though a politician would just wake up, somebody will just put up a bill. We are approving 100 billion for my sandals, for my
That's exactly why we have agencies like the ICPC and the EFCC.
Okay.
But you see that these two agencies have been politicized.
Exactly.
And that's the gospel truth.
You're right.
Because before you enter, even as a civil servant that I am, they brought a paper for us that you should declare your assets.
They did?
Yes, definitely you ought to. There's a level of promotion you get, you have to declare your assets.
Okay.
So all these things are things that we claim we do. But all these things are not. They're just hoas. They're just mirage. You understand? So the truth about it is that until I said this, our constitution must be changed. When we change our constitution, so many things, so that the lot of powers the political holders have will be, extracted from them. Then you don't see yourself that you have come to serve. You are not there to enrich yourself.
The legislature arm of government is the only political office, or the only arm of government that is not elected. They are not elected. They are just the executive arm of government just comes and say, okay, we are going to put this person in place.
You elect them,
but then they don't have the kind of elections where they run for presidency or they run for governorship. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are not elected in the manner where we have 2027 elections. Now we are looking for a new speaker or the rest. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, what they do is this. There is always an election for them. They do the election when governorship election it comes up. Those are the two elections that they do in that particular day. Now, it is when the governor in power looks at he projects his party to win all the houses. So from there, now they don't allow the house members to choose. Most of the times, they allow the house members to choose, but they influence.
That's what I'm saying. The executive influences a lot.
There must be an influence, so that you would always want the person you could work with. That's what they call it. The person that will always understand your heartbeat, who will not bring you issues. Who can talk to his members, who can be on top of his game to control. So
it doesn't matter if the person has been doing a previously good job in the past administration. If a new person comes into power, they are free to change the person on seat to someone that would work with them better.
Yes, the house have that power to say we don't want this person.
Okay.
You understand?
For me, I just want to add something to what you said about the constitution. You mentioned something about changing the Constitution.
1999 Constitution.
Yes. Now,
because it's Abacha's Constitution.
Yeah, I just don't want them to change the Constitution. I want them to change those who lead the country, because you see a case whereby we have the leadership positions being rotated over and over again.
Yeah, right.
So it's not just about changing the Constitution, because if you change the constitutions and it's still the same persons that were there when the Constitution were made, or were there when the constitutions came into existence, it will still be the same ball games all over again.
No, let me comment a little bit. Normally it won't happen that way. Now let me give you an instance. When Trump came in power the first time, he wanted to authenticate the Obamacare foundation. The system, which is the American system, had to stop him. They said you can't go there. They looked at it. They looked at his argument. He didn't.
But we all know Nigeria.
No, that's what we're saying. If we have a sincere, I know what I'm saying. If we have a sincere set of people. Now, what he would do? No, it wasn't the new.
Old ones.
No,
clear those ones that have questionable characters. Clear them.
Let me
bring new people that have integrity.
Hold on. Let me tell you a little bit. It is not about taking everybody off. Everybody have equal right to contest. Everybody has equal right to come up out. But if there is a working system, if our constitution forbids you, we look at your antecedents, and it is the constitution that will say this person has a corrupt, a questionable character. This person cannot come on board anymore.
But they are violating the constitution.
That's what we are saying.
Right.
We don't have the right set of people. Or what they do is that they go to the constitution, they pick the one that will always favor them. And you see how they change the review constitutions regularly. Within 2 days, 3 days, it's been reviewed.
No, I understand what you're saying.
So that is it.
But because of time, let us move on to the next story. And I know you want to take this one personally. The over 100 trillion naira that the Honorable Mohammed claimed that he provided documents for to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, during his election. He said they met personally. So I just wanted us to look at that, because this is, when we are talking about the billions, this is 100 trillion naira that was previously stolen in the Buhari's administration. Okay, so let's just look at that for a minute.
Okay. Honorable Mohammed Gaduje Gazure came on board to make the claims that
he had a private meeting.
He had a private meeting with Bola Ahmed Tinubu for him to do a private investigation.
Yes.
People who have consumed our Nigerian economy.
Yes.
Because this is no longer money. Once money begins to advance from millions to billion, it's economy. So somebody is sitting
making our economy.
Yes, sitting on our economy, just for private use. Now, he said he spoke to him and gave him the names, people that needed to be nailed. And this would have prevented us from borrowing if these things were tackled the way Buhari tackled some of the ministers that were in Jonathan's regime and collected a lot of money from them. Let me tell you, to an extent, I agree with him. But this is still boils down to what we are saying. The kind of system we operate, the kind of human beings we have in the country, that is it. The level of corruption
that has eaten
into the fabric of our people's life. It's the problem. No normal human being how would you feel you're coming out? Let me just give an illustration. You alone living in this area, you have 20 vehicles. You alone, no other person. Security is all over. You are the only person. Most of the time, if you have a conscience, you always ask yourself, this thing is no longer it's not no longer life.
Making sense.
It's no longer making sense. Because if people around me are not of the same power with me, then that security you are looking at is even a threat to you. It's a good your guys even a
No, I like that statement.
Yeah.
Well, I want us to move to the next question
No,
now.
let's look at this.
Because it's the same thing.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, what does this mean for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu if it was true that these documents were released to him in private and he didn't make use of it? What does it mean for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Go on, Ifoma.
Okay. Let me first of all, I just want to talk about the whole the issue on ground right now about the money, the investigation, and the rest of it. I would want to say to Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he should conduct a deep investigation to find out if this is actually true, because according to the man, he said that this cost him a lot. That
even his life.
Yeah, his life. That he escaped assassination twice because he was trying to, get those documents in order. And now I'm saying to the president, if this man went to this length, you get to make this an account, make the account for stuff like this, or bring out this to the limelight. Exactly, limelight. I think it's something that he needs to take seriously. But you could see from the comments that he threw it into the dustbin. You understand? But we are still reiterating it, and we are still bringing it to his table, and we are telling him, conduct an investigation on this and find out if it is true. And if it is true, then do the necessary things.
When you give, this is, saying conducting to know if it is true is making mockery of the investigation. The truth about it is that you called somebody. Hold on. You called somebody to make an investigation. The person did. Between me and you, there is no time you dig a hole, you will not see something. That is the truth. There is corruption in the system. Buhari administration, we know the level of corruption that was there. Now, the truth about it, it is still in Buhari administration that money missed from NNPC.
That snake swallowed money.
It was in his administration where animals started swallowing.
Yes.
First, monkey swallowed, snake swallowed.
Even rat, I think
rat, yes, rat too swallowed money. Then NNPC woke up one morning and said, "There's no money again." These are just people coming to connive to make sure that. And
they don't really rate Nigerians because the lies that they give us, which one is that rats swallowed?
100 trillion. If we recover the money that people are holding in their individual accounts, if we recover those money, I bet you we have no reason to borrow money from
anywhere.
Exactly.
This money will be used judiciously. We're talking about technology. Nothing is happening. We only rely on what foreigners bring in. You understand? The research institutes that we need to have, everything is dilapidated. Nobody is willing, because when you hear the level of money people siphon from our economy.
But I have a suggestion. I think I have a way out for this particular topic. What if this man comes and reveals this document to the public?
Where would he stay? Which TV station would he use?
It's not TV station, social media. You can use social media and reveal it to the public. I mean, let everybody do their own investigation.
Did you he escaped assassination 2 times?
But he has already escaped the assassination and has given the documents in private. Let him bring it in public.
Do you actually know that they know his father's house and his mother's and his family? So this is the problem, the bane of the issue we have in this country. You understand? You talk, you die. Well, I agree with you. You talk, you die. You don't talk, you die. So it's better you talk.
You talk.
And die.
Let him just expose it.
The problem is, if what you are saying, no.
Expose it and die.
Okay, I'm not the one.
Hold on. If the man decides that he wants to sacrifice his life to say it, what impact will it make?
Exactly. So many people have lost.
Even the NSAS team that died, nothing has happened.
Let's not go to NSAS.
Okay.
2014 confirm. Where is it? Mohamed Waisi report sometime before 2014 confirm. Where is it? Where is the implementation? So we need prayers. We need to continue to.
The other day, first day, the organized prayers for Nigeria.
We need to continue to pray. so that God will give us a Joshua.
I don't even think this is a God problem anymore. I think this is a man problem.
No, what we need is a God should help us.
God has helped us. What else are we looking for?
So that He will send us the right person.
Hasn't He sent?
Do you understand?
Hasn't He sent, Mr. Daniel? Hasn't He sent?
For now, the right person has not ascended the throne.
All right.
See, when the right person ascended, if the right person ascended the throne, we wouldn't be talking. This man would have come out boldly
with authority. This is your name here.
This is the names of the people.
But you can't do that now.
That is the problem.
This is really sad. But another, sad story is the one that we looked at. I think we even referenced it the other day about Nigerian nurses strike for pay. And they are calling for 43. How do they call it? 43,000 new employees. They want to employ more nurses, and they say they lack staff. That they say 43,000 nurses have traveled abroad, right? Because of the situation in the country, and now they went on strike, but it didn't last. They wanted to go for a strike for 7 days, but they only lasted for 4 days. And after that 4 days, they went into a meeting, and I think federal government said they were going to give them money, disburse money for them, and that ended. But the funny thing is that I wanted us to look at there is this screenshot I saw on X, where during the strike of the nurses, the doctors became both doctors and nurses. So there was a screenshot that the doctors were giving instruction in a particular hospital that because the nurses are on strike, that they should resume duties as nurses. That means by 7 a.m. Dr. Okonkwo will have to go check on their nurses. In the afternoon, so and so person has to. Let's take a look at this. It says, "Good evening, fellow house officers. As you are aware, the nurses' strike is set to begin tomorrow. Consequently, there will be an adjustment to the call roster as directed by the Chief Registrar. Please note, HOs from each unit are expected to attend to their patients between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., ensuring medications, vitals, and all necessary care are appropriately handled before handing over to those on ward call." And then all of this, I'm just going to stop here for now. But it's just funny that doctors now, you are attending to patients, you are treating patients, maybe conducting surgery, and then you're also acting as nurses. What sort of healthcare system are we running in this country? Let me start from you, Foma, because I know this was personal for you. How was this? How did it sound to you?
I think at this point, I would say Nigeria is a chaotic nation. Because we've gone past the billions. We've not gone past it, but we just concluded on that topic right now. And we're moving to a different thing. Now, but let me go back to the billions. You are allocating such funds for backup and the rest, allowances and the rest of it. When there are people that are involved in health care that you're supposed to pay. Imagine a situation whereby I am a nurse. I attend to over maybe 50,000 patients, maybe in a day or in a week. And then at the end of the month, I'm receiving 50,000 naira. How do you expect me to work accordingly? How do you expect me to work happily? How do you expect me to give my all to that particular
position? It's not possible.
Now you see some of them, at this case, you see some of them neglecting their duties. You see some of them acting reckless. It's because they are not being paid. It's just like when you have a family that have a caregiver, and you don't pay the caregiver well, and you don't treat the caregiver well. Of course, when you step out of the house, they are going to maltreat your children.
Very right.
It's the same thing with these patients. Now they can't react to people that pay them. They can only react
to the patients.
Yes. Exactly. That's when you get to hear this nurse is actually rude. This nurse is this one. But if they are being paid well, well equipped, you understand, all these things will not be a problem.
She said, let me just ask this question I want to ask. She said, the lack of motivation is obviously the reason some nurses do not carry out their duties effectively.
It's one of the reasons.
Yes, one of the reasons they don't carry out their duties effectively. what do you have to say concerning that? And do you think that them having a positive outcome during that meeting, that closed door meeting that they had, and they were able to disburse money to the nurses at the end of the day, do you think this is becoming a norm? The protest before payment, everybody has to protest. Ex-military personnel protest, they will answer them. Is it until the entire Nigerians start protesting one by one before we get answers?
Well, it's quite unfortunate where we found ourselves. Although protest is a right of every worker.
Of course.
In abroad, in UK, there was a protest of recent. US too, there are protests. But I would think I would beg the studio to put up the claims, yes. What the 9 demands, they would say gazetting of the nurses scheme of service approved by the National Council on Establishment NEC 2016, implementation of the National Industrial Court judgment, upward review of professional allowance for nurses and midwives. I know that's the in thing.
Yes.
The employment of nurses, personnel, and adequate provision of health facilities. Creation of Department of Nursing in the Federal Ministry.
Oh, there's no even department.
There's no department there. You could see that. Inclusion of nurses in the headship of health policy-making bodies. Fair representation by the association on the board and membership in federal health institutions. Centralization of internship posting for graduate nurses. That's on a consultancy for nurses and midwives. You could see the things, the 9 demands they are demanding for. Some of them are achievable. Some of them might not be achievable. That's the truth. Now, they talked about the allowances and other stuff. Nurses are the neck of the doctors.
Yeah.
That's what they are. When you come to hospital, they are the neck. While the doctors are the head, they are the neck. And without the neck, the head cannot really turn properly.
At all.
So the issue is based on what we have been talking about. A working system.
Exactly.
That is what it is. Because if we really have a working system, definitely some things wouldn't be like that. If they know that every 4 years, or 3 years, or 8 years, you promote a security man, maybe a policeman or a military man, that's how every year or 2 years, nurses, doctors should be gaining their promotion in every of the establishments where they are. And that is the gospel truth.
You're right.
You understand? Yeah. So these are things they really need to checkmate. Recently, the governor of Anambra State employed 500 nurses. First time in history. 500 nurses, 500 doctors.
That's impressive.
You understand? And he's paying them. You understand?
No, I really like when officials are doing what they're supposed to do.
Like I told you, I said yesterday, our southeastern governors have really improved in this dispensation. They're really doing.
No, they have to give it to them. We're going to have enough time, like, just to talk about these achievements, but we have to round things up right now as time is no longer on our side. But it has been an absolute pleasure doing this with you, Ifeoma Oji and Mr. Daniel Sacramento. A quick message to all our viewers: in order to be an active citizen, it really doesn't take much. It's just high time that we stand up, we wake up and know that this country is ours and it is ours to fight for. Here at Active Citizens, we are committed to good governance. So please join us in this fight against bad governance by subscribing to our YouTube channel, following us on all our social media platforms, and also registering to upload live results during the 2027 elections, live polling unit results during 2027 elections, so that we have a free and fair, transparent election come 2027. Thank you so much, Ifeoma Oji. It's been a pleasure. Thank you again, Daniel Sacramento. Till we see you in the afternoon, do have a lovely day.